What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Jay Will back again, here to do some pitcher projections. Today is Tuesday, September 23rd, and we got a full slate of games, including the matchup of the day, the Tigers versus the Guardians. You got Tarek Skubal versus Gavin Williams. It should be a good one. It's for the division. This is the final week of the season. The Tigers then shit the bed the whole month, and now it's up to this series to determine who wins the AL Central. Definitely matchup of the day. It should be a good one. Our top five pitcher Ks playing today. Number one, Tarek Skubal with Detroit with 233. Number two, you got Logan Webb out in San Fran with 211. Number three, Chris Sanchez in Philly with 198. Number four, you got Gossman out in Toronto with 177. And rounding out the top five, you got Pepio out in Tampa with 164. Before we review yesterday's picks and projections, I'm going to ask you to like, comment, subscribe. There's a couple ways to get my picks. Join the Dub Club, use code UNC. You get half off your first month. And the YouTube executive tier, link in the description. All right, let's get to it. To review, it was only 3 games yesterday, and you would think you could go perfect, but no, it was bad. 2 for 6 for 33%. Um, Gore, he only got 3. Chris Sale, I don't know what happened. Like he was putting up nines, you know, and yesterday he put up 6. Peralta took care of business, and Pavetta got the safe ass 4. But McGreevy, he couldn't do shit. He got 2. And I thought Verlander would be able to, but it's like, damn, everything was looking good, but it just didn't happen. The concerns we had did, and that affected the outcome. So, like I said, pick 6, we just talked about it um, in our pick of the day. Like I said, Peralta, he took care of business, and Verlander didn't. So, with that being said, we got a full slate today. We're gonna bounce back. And yeah, as of the day, McGreevy, like I said, come on, man. He was looking good and just, yeah, shit the bed yesterday. 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned runs, 3 walks, just 2 Ks, and he let up 2 home runs. McGreevy, ass of the day. Our pitcher of the day was Peralta. He the only one who really like did, you know what I mean? What was projected and he consistent. 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 6 Ks, but he did let up a home run. Freddie Peralta, pitcher of the day. Today, my pick of the day, I'm going with Pepio to go over against the Orioles. And I got Gavin Williams to go over against the Tigers. Um, they just played last week. Gavin Williams got 9 Ks. I don't see him just getting 5 today. So um, let's talk about our pick 6. I got Cabrera out of Miami. He should be able to get 5 against Philly. It's plus money. They're saying they don't think he's going to get 5. I'm rolling the dice. I'm fading Gill today. I don't see him getting 6 against the White Sox. I'm also fading David Peterson. I don't see him getting 5 against the Cubs. Um, Reagans, he should be able to go over against the Angels. Everybody have. Logan Webb, safe ass 5 against the Cardinals. And Javier, safe ass 4 against the Athletics. So we're going to take a look at it and see what, you know, my logic behind the picks and see if you like it. If not, fade it. But here we go. First, we starting off with Pepio. No, let's start off with Williams since we own him and he's in the pick of the day. His line is at 5.5. So let's put it on that. 5.5. Now let's for the season, 50%. Home games, matchup grade. It likes it, right? We clear the filters. I look at his last 5 games, and it's more so than not he's going over five. Um, I look at my concern list here, and what were my concerns with Gavin? Let's see. It wasn't much. It's just his walks. Um, Earned runs is not too high. The hits allowed, just three. Not too many homers. It's a 5 inning guy. The walks were a concern. Let's check it out. We take a look at his earned runs. And like I said, nothing too scary. Hits allowed. You got that blip against Tampa, but once again, nothing too scary. Home runs. Okay, that was a concern. Let's put that at one here because it looks like he was trending to trending giving up a home run. I missed that one. Um, and his pitch count, 5 innings. So the walks, like I said, is a concern. He's given up at least two. So we go back to the strikeouts. His line is at 5.5. And we go to the head-to-head. And if you look at the head-to-head, he's giving you at least five. He sees him a lot. 3 times was last year. They did a division rival, so he's going to see him a lot. He knows them, and they can't seem to, you know, get to him. So, like, you got 9, 8, 8, 9. He's getting six, bro. Um, yeah, his earned runs. Let's look at just his head-to-head stats versus the Tigers. The earned runs is great. His hits, great. Home runs, he's not giving up many. His pitch count with the Tigers, at least 5 innings. Is he walking them? Yeah, like I said, his walks is a concern with no matter who, but I'm just saying he's getting, he's going over, bro. Gavin Williams over, lock. Um, Pepio. Let's check out Pepio. He's the other leg of the pick of the day, and his line is at 4.5. Now, we already have it on the head to head. If you take a look here, um, it's topsy-turvy. One game, he'll go over. Well, most of them he did, but in the one he didn't, there's one and then there's four. The line is at 4.5. What were my concerns with Pepio? Let's check it out. Mm, Not, it was the walks for sure. Earned runs could get out of hand, maybe. Let's see. And this is the head to head. Yeah, his earned runs head to head is not good against Baltimore. Um, a consistent hits, his hits is not good against Baltimore. Home runs, yeah, once again, not good against Baltimore. And his walks, yeah, consistent. Last 5 games, walks nasty. His earned runs, you got 4 and 4 with sandwiched with nothing. So I say, all right, he'll give you like two earned runs. As far as his hits, last 5 games, he haven't been giving up much, you know. Um, as far as same thing as home runs, he haven't gave up any. You know, his pitch count, 4 innings. I don't like that. I see some fives in here, but this last game against Toronto, he only went 1.7 innings, whatever that is. Um, Yeah. And his walks, like I said, his walks that are nasty. But we go back to the strikeouts. His line is at 4.5. I'm looking at his last five. Three against Toronto, six against Cleveland, six against Washington, three against St. Louis, and eight against the Giants. So we go to the head-to-head. Last time he faced them, which don't mean much, back in July, he got 8 Ks. That game in June, he only went almost 2 innings, only got 1 K. I don't know what happened there. Maybe, I don't know. Did he get injured? Was it the high pitch count? I don't know. But you take that game out, I see at least 4 Ks. Now, Baltimore does get to him, but I look at his last five. He had the rough game with Toronto. It's 3 Ks. He'll get at least four with Baltimore. He's going over. I like him for the over. Pepio. It looks scary, but he'll get the over, bro. Against Baltimore. Where is Baltimore on the strikeout list? Let's check them out. There they is, number two, right behind the Angels. I feel good about it. He's getting at least four against them, right? So yeah, they striking out a lot. He'll get five. Let's go. Pick six. We starting with Cabrera. I got him over 4.5 against Philly. All right, let's take a look at it. Cabrera over 4.5 against Philly. Now, what has he been doing lately? We look at his last 5 games, he's giving you at least 4 Ks, you know? So I'm like, okay, what are my concerns with Cabrera? Because right there, that was looking good. I'm like, you know, before digging any further, just the visual of his last 4 games looked good to me. So I said, all right, let's look behind the scenes. And behind the scenes, you see nastiness. His earned runs, major concern. It's, home runs. He's a 5 inning guy. That's about the best thing going for him. His walks are a concern. So it's like, damn, bro, everything is a concern. Why did you go over? So I'm looking at this, right? He's giving you at least four, right? His earned runs have been nasty, right? So earned runs, nasty. Hits, nasty. Home runs, mm, this last game, though. You know what I mean? So it's a slight concern on the home runs. He's a 5 inning guy. I see a seven in there. I see fours. He's he's unreliable, really. You know what I mean? Unreliable. I don't know how long he's going. And his walks, you know, he's giving you at least one, and he can give you more than that, 1.5. So with all that said, n no matter the garbage nastiness, he's still getting Ks. His line is at 4.5. Let's go head to head. 2 out of 3 times he's done it, including the latest time back in June. He went 6 innings. He got 5 hits, 1 earned run, two hits, no home runs, and 3 walks. I'm looking at recent starting pitchers. I see a lot of green, you know. On the red, I see a one, see a three, three. So at least three, right? And I see a lot of green. Um, his last five, he's giving you at least four. So I feel like he can get to five, you know what I mean? Um, might be sweaty because of his hits situation, but he gets the Ks. And if he goes, my thing is what would determine it is his innings pitched. You know, he would need to go at least 5.5, bro. But even with this average right here of 5 innings here, he's still getting four Ks, no matter what. Like this this one right here, 4 innings with St. Louis, he got 6 Ks. So I feel good about it, you know? Let's go. Edward Cabrera over. Next up, we got Gill. We fading Gill. I don't think against Chicago, like I said, I don't think he gets 6. So let's check him out. Yeah, look at his last 5 games. It's not, I don't look, I don't look too like, oh yeah, he's definitely, so his last 5 games look shaky. Let's check him out. What were my concerns? Let's see. It was just his walks. Um, his earned runs are low. Hits about 4. Not really giving up home runs. 5 innings guy, and the walks are the concern. So let's see. Last 5, like I said, earned runs, nothing too crazy. This most recent game against Minnesota, they got to him. Same thing with the hits, nothing too crazy. Most recent game, Minnesota got to him. Home runs, he's not giving up much. Pitch count, 5 inning guy, could go 6. And his walks are the concern. He's giving up at least 2, you know, that's nasty. So we go back to the strikeouts, and he was supposed to get over 5.5, right? When we looking at his performance, 2 against Minnesota, 4 against Boston, 1 against Toronto, 7 against the White Sox, and 5 against Washington. So we go to the head-to-head. And like I said, there goes that 7 against the White Sox. And it wasn't too long ago. It was like last month. He went 5 innings. He had 7 Ks, 2 earned runs, 4 hits. He let up a home run and his customary 2 walks. Um, so let's look at his last 10 games. And it's sporadic, it's no consistency here, but I do see 3, if I not even really like, there's no consistency. He had this game right here. I'm surprised, you know, Houston and Chicago, he has 7 Ks. So he has the potential to do it, but I'm looking at his last 5 games and he's like, I think on a downward trend. Yeah, I look at the White Sox. Um, they number 10 in strikeouts. I look at the recent starting pitchers though, and I don't see much green. On the green, I see Cease, Bradish, Bybee, Hauser, Scooble, and Gill is nowhere near as good as those guys, in my opinion. So, with that being said, right, I don't see him getting 6. He may get 4, as you see in this red here, it's 4s. He might even get 5. He's not getting 6. Not today. We fading Gill. Next up, we fading Peterson. David Peterson is facing the Cubs. His line is at 4.5. Let's check him out. David Peterson. You look at his last 5 games, it also looks kind of nasty with 2 sprinkles of good games. 8 against Philly and 8 against Atlanta, which really wasn't nothing really to sneeze at, right? Those were some good outings. Um, what was my concerns with Peterson? Let's check it out. Everything. Only thing is he's not really giving up home runs, but 4.5 earned runs, 6 hits. He's a 4 inning guy. That's because they hitting his ass up, and he's giving up all these walks. So if you take a look here at his earned runs, it's nasty. All right. That looks bad. I'm looking at his hits. Do you see this? This is bad. At least 5 in his last 5 games. This is horrible. His last 2 games, he gave up a home run. But other than that, not so much. Pitch count, like I said, he's a 4 inning guy, could go 5. Not reliable. And his walk situation, it's bad. So I go back to strikeouts. He's supposed to get over 4.5. He's supposed to get 5. Let's check it out. Head to head, there's no head to head. So I'm looking at recent starting pitchers, and I do see quite a bit of green, and I do see some red. Um, so I look at some of the names: Bryce Elder, Sale, Boz, Rasmussen, Skeens, Green. Now I'm surprised at Lodolo, but when I name those pitchers, is he as good as those guys? He's not, in my opinion. And I look at his last 5, and I'm like, okay, he just got one against the Padres, and now he's supposed to get 5 against, the Cubs. I don't just don't see it. Um, but then again, right? I don't know. The Cubs, they clinched the wild card. Are the Mets fighting for a spot? I don't know. They might want to play spoiler. I just don't see it. David Peterson, we faded him. Just don't see it. Cole Reagans over 6.5 against the Angels. Let's check him out. You look at his last 5 games. Okay, it's nothing horrible. Um, let's see. What were the concerns for Cole Reagans? They were everything. Man, so you look at his strikeouts, right? Last 5 games, we're looking at his earned runs. This is nasty. Okay. We look at his hits. It's not good, man. Like, home runs, last 2 games back to back, but he's not really giving them up. Um, Pitch count, 4 inning guy. Can't depend on him to be in the game that long. And his walk situation is nasty. So his line is at 6.5, right? Because no matter all the garbage here, let's look at his last 10 games. You see, this guy gets some strikeouts. He's giving up hits, he's giving up the runs, and he's walking people. But in his, little 4 innings, maybe 5 innings of work, he's getting some Ks, bro. So you see this at least 4 here. Um, so I go to the head to head. And yeah, he done it before, most recently. No, this was both last year. I take that back. But he did it last year. That's not to say, oh, he did it last year, he could do it again. But let's look at these recent starting pitchers. I see a lot of green here. And on the red, I see 5s and 6s. So he's gonna get at least 5. And I'm looking at this green here, and I'm looking at his last 5. He could do it. I definitely see it. They are number one in strikeouts. I'm liking Reagan's to go over against the Angels. Let's go. Logan Webb, safe as 5. Let's check him out against the Cardinals. If you look at his last 5 games, he's given you at least five. What are my concerns with Webb? Logan Webb, man, he's I don't know, man, topsy-turvy. His hits is a concern and walks. I like the fact that he's a 5.5 inning guy, could go six, don't give up many home runs, and his earned runs is not nothing crazy. Let's check it out. He had the one bad game against the Dodgers, but other than that, nothing's too crazy. Most recently, last 5 games. The hits, like I said, is a concern. Look at this. This is nasty. Man. But he's not really giving up home runs. That's the crazy part. It's like, man, all this nastiness, bro, but he's not really giving up home runs. And like I said, he's a 5 inning plus guy. I see a four in there, but I see sixes and even some dashes of sevens. So he's gonna go five or more unless he get really roughed up. And his walks, like I said, he's giving you at least one, could give you two. Concern. Back to the strikeouts. Over 5.5. What about the head to head? He did it before. That was last year, though. Let's look at the recent starting pitchers. I see a lot of red, you know? But when I do look at the green, I see Brady Singer, Andrew Abbott, Logan Gilbert, Brian Wu, Kaiwei Ting, Justin Verlander. Is he as good as those guys? Of course he is. So that, based on his last five, I really liked the over. I really did. But I was like, based on this red here, they haven't really been, just in case. I know he'll give me five. So Logan Webb, slam dunk the safe ass five. Really wanted to go over. And last but not least, let's check out Christian Javier. He's playing the Athletics. He should get four, right? Let's check him out. And everything be looking good, but then the game plays. They play the game, and then shit don't go how you think it would have. So we look at his last 5 games, and he covered this line 4 out of the last 5. What were my concerns with Javier? Let's check. They were earned runs, innings pitched, and walks. He's not in the game long enough to say, oh, yeah, he for sure would get 4 Ks in 6 innings, That's slam dunk. But let's take a look. Earned runs, last 5 games. Yeah, it's over two. His hits, same thing. Uh, Home runs. Haven't really been giving up home runs. Pitch count, 4.5. I see some sixes here, but it seems like his number gets high before that 6 inning mark. And you see the walks. The walks look bad. So we go back to strikeouts, at least four on the head to head. Last year, he got 8 on them. I'm looking at recent starting pitchers. I see a lot of green. And on the red, I see threes. So I look at his last 5. He's giving you at least four. He should get at least four today. Where is the Athletics on strikeouts? Middle of the pack at 15. You know, he should be able to do it. And there you have it. Um, Javier, safe as 4, and you got plus 2,271 odds. Uh, yeah, that's it. The rest of my picks are there for the Dub Club and YouTube Executive tier. We're gonna bounce back today. We got some good ass games. So yeah, let's try to bounce back, have a better day, and let's get this money.